I don't know where to begin, so let's just get started. The strength of an illusion meets the strength of true victimization in this matter. Um, the killers watch me obsessively. I don't know if anyone else does, but they have invested in using me as sort of an umpire in a story they're telling. And they victimize people, but they have the strength of the illusion that they're doing it to recoup their losses over John Lennon, who pulled a Houdini. Chapman was a partner of Lennon, so was Sean Strupp. But they claimed, he said, it was the last nail in the coffin in the 60s. That would make him more or less a martyr in the framework of JFK and Martin Luther King. So why would they kill CRC Kennedy? See, it doesn't make any sense at all. They're telling a story. They're using an illusion to protect the people who started AIDS and released COVID. So we know that. And I tried to get through to the state police about a wheel that hit two men, one 55 and 18. 55 is often used in the reward game as the way that Maduro Goto provided compensation after they successive degradations of the X mode of me to the tune of the walrus of abortions. And 18 poetry. So, because that's the age I went to the governor's school. I turned right before I turned 18. So, um, but it's sort of a low baton headquarters. Like they expect people to go, no, it's not true. There is no encrypted war game. Well, it's not necessarily true, the particular incident, but Wheeler has given me a lot of trouble for a long time. And I knew him at art school in 1981. So anyway, children go, wee on the screen, and Hitler, lur, Wheeler. It's a wheel of revenge in the axis. So, and so on and so forth. So, what I want to talk about, the reason I mentioned these knuckleheads who collect my work and threaten to kill, step on a crack and break your mother's back. Ian Wattenmaker used to say, well, Roger Waters feels the same way about copyright. They put a C and a Star of David. This was not found art. When they rip or murdered Shannon Harps over her penny, it was the Green Party C and a Star of David. They were saying copyright belongs to the perpetrators. And that strengthens the illusion. It starts making sense to Seattle. Sense to Seattle. It starts making sense to Seattle that they would kill CRC Kennedy in the name of John Lennon and so on. The people know, these knuckleheads know that I usually try to stick to the evidence. Because people go, well, I don't see no evidence. Where's that evidence? And you hold it up and you sort of, it's like a child game, where they grab the playing with a cat, pulling something out away from a cat. But it's the reverse of that, you're trying to get the cat to look at something, and the cat's going, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. This is the game they play. Okay. I usually stick to the evidence, but what I'm going to do is talk about some evidence. I'm going to talk about my experience. So you don't have to believe this part. I don't have neuroplasm to back it up about or anything like that. I mean, some of my evidence is directly related to my personal testimony. I'm not making some sweeping statement because I stated something is true without evidence. Don't believe anything I say with it supported by evidence. I'm just saying, based on me, you make your judgment about whether you believe it. Wattenmaker used to say his father put people under hypnosis. He got me, it wasn't a natural thing for me to do. He got me involuntarily to look for the lips in a car because Edith had lips. Look for the lips was also a symbol of the doctors inspecting women's vaginas. It was all sort of a knock and bull um, horse race racket mentality. They got me to cut a telephone wire by teaching me about wires, Colucci, teaching me about pranks, and they did it with their mind. And Ian, one day when we were walking to school, threw his umbrella and a girl dropped her books. She was at least 4 or 5 blocks away. I could almost at the vanishing point. He picked up his umbrella, he smiled at me and said, "I can do it again." He waited a little bit and then threw his umbrella and she dropped her books again. He did it 3 times. Well, Saul Becker used to say you can kill somebody with your mind. Duh. Well, this is what Lou Brecker and Lou Carl have goshened up with Totem, and they play me as an umpire, game of Stratego. He's a poem, 55-18, 55-18, Wheeler. And that's how they gig at it. So, Bernard Wattenmaker was a psychiatrist for Attica State Prison. It's important to know the symbols that they use. Like one day we were sitting in the in the living room where Ian showed me that ghastly picture of the U.S. combat veteran with blood pouring down his arms and time knife or something. They played in the court for me. They were the first people to play that for me. Well, we're sitting down. The Bernard was present, and water starts dripping through the ceiling, like that scene in Tess, right? Turns out Willie Wattenmaker's water chair was leaking, so we went upstairs to get as much water out so we could get it, throw it out the window. Ian Wattenmaker used to tell me that a woman was found with a telephone cord wrapped around her neck in bed, dead. I said, "Oh my goodness." He said, "Yeah, she got tangled up in her sleep, they rolled." So you have to understand, this Wattenmaker dude and the knuckleheads are up to some really creepy business. And they are demonically implicated in what was done to Mackenzie Schroeder. Now, I presented evidence to that effect. That was not why I put this out, but I'm going to add that point